All right, welcome in everybody to another session, our April edition session. This is the first time we've done this on a Wednesday. We normally do this on Saturdays. Usually the last Saturday of the month is what we usually do these on, first Wednesday. So I'm excited about that. And so we're just gonna get into some real motivational stuff today. Like I said, I've been feeling kind of like a little bit. I've been decompressing a lot lately over the last few days because I really had to sit back and appreciate some of the work that I've done over the course of time. Like I've been doing, for those who don't know, I've been doing streaming on Twitch since 2019, like really going in with it, and then I've been doing content making since 2011. So it's a lot of ups and downs you go through when you do this stuff, and so sometimes I have to sit back and appreciate the work I've done because it's like a lot of people come and go with this. Some people quit, and it's like I had to sit back and appreciate like the fact that I've done this for so long, and you know with all of that on me, it made me like had like feel overwhelmed sometimes because it's like, damn, how long can I keep doing this? And I had to sit back and realize, like, ask myself this question. This is something that you should think about when you're streaming. Is like, am I having fun with what I'm doing? Right? Ask yourself that question because if you're not having fun, you probably shouldn't be doing it. You want to do things in life that make you have fun, that's enjoyable. And so, every time I get in these moments where I feel like I'm overwhelmed, I ask myself, do I love what I'm doing? Am I having fun? And the answer is always yes. So that is my motivation to keep going. And it's really just a simple question like that. Do I enjoy what I do? And that's with anything. It don't have to be streaming. It could be anything. Like if you're currently doing something on a regular basis, consistent basis, am I doing it just to collect money, or am I doing it because I'm having fun, or am I doing it to collect money and I'm having fun at the same time? So right now, when it comes to me, is I'm having fun and I'm making money off of it. So both check boxes are there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm making and I'm having fun. It's just double greatness. So that is my motivation to myself to keep this going. Now we talking in future, in past classes about how to maintain an audience, get people on your side and all that good stuff. And I had to literally remind myself sometimes, like, yo, sometimes this content creating can be a lot. Sometimes it's like coming up with new content to fulfill every single every single day, or depending on how long you stream, days, once a week, once a month, whatever. But like it's really a lot. Like I'm sitting there like it's 365 days in a year, and I'm streaming like 340, 330 of those days, like without many days off. So it's like, I wonder like sometimes like how do I keep this going as long as I do? But when you having fun with what you're doing, you are going to succeed because the main part is to have fun. I'm not doing this as a chore. I'm not doing this as a job. This is not a task. This is literally me out here being me having fun. And so that is the motivation to myself. Uh, every now and then I want to make it more of a motivation regularly because even I had to remind myself sometimes, like all the things I've done. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, why am I in a rut sometimes when I go through those moments of just like feeling overwhelmed? But I have to remind myself, like, listen, you have fun, you enjoy what you do. And sometimes as simple as just talking to yourself goes a long way, and reminding yourself who you are and what you've done. And I know that may sound just maybe cliche or just basic, but that's really what it is. Like just that self-reflection in the mirror is like, damn, like I did this before, I've done this, I can continue this, I'm having a good time. So I really just wanted to share that because it's like it was very impactful and powerful to me, even after all these years of just remind myself who I am, what I'm supposed to do, what's my purpose here, and that's what keeps me going with all of this stuff. Now, when it comes to like specifically Twitch, uh, I think I've been having these conversations over the last like few days with people like the psychology of Twitch, like understanding your people, understanding the people that come watch you, like the mental part, like what do they like? That's why I always ask, like, what do you like to watch? What do you stream? Because it gets a kind of an idea and engaging of what people are on your channel for. And also you can use it as a method to build conversation with. So it's like if you talk to a person and they say they like food or they're eating or whatever, then future conversations you can maybe ask them like what you eat today, or even delve deeper into like what kind of foods what's your diet like. If this You can build rapport questions just by simply finding out little things about people. And then some people love that shit. Like I know I love that a lot. Like I love when people ask me specific questions that I can answer. Like I feel like I'm a part of the chat. And also the person that asked the question gives a damn about me. You know what I'm saying? One thing I hate is when you go into a chat and the person doesn't seem like they care about anything about you. It's like, okay, you're new to the channel. Great. Thank you for the follow. And it's like, there's no build up. So anytime I get somebody new in the chat, I'm always asking like build up questions. Cause it's like, to me, it tells me that the person gives a damn. And so I know to the other person, they like, wow, Retro actually cares a little bit about me. And they may want me to stay. So when it comes to like building that rapport, you need that, in you. You need those questions, and that goes a long way. And of course, you want to play games with people, and you build camaraderie that way, and that's how you keep that audience rolling. You know what I'm saying? You learn about them, you want to play with them, they're invested in what you do, and you're invested in them. And so when you get that all around investment, then it's like it's a win for everybody, because the streamer cares about you care about the streamer, you care about what they do, not just them playing the game, but just the overall product of what they're trying to do. For me, I'm not just putting on a stream, I'm not just playing a game. I'm putting on a show, I'm putting on a presentation. So that level of work, for me, I appreciate that. So when I go and watch streams, I'm watching a presentation, I'm watching visuals, I'm watching sound effects, I'm looking for channel rewards, channel commands, emotes, anything besides the actual game. And of course, the personality of the person matters as well. Like, are they engaging? Do they have energy? Do they have the charisma? Are they just boring? Do they read chat? Like I'm asking I'm thinking about a lot of those questions, because that's gonna go a long way and for me to figure out like how I'm gonna rock with this person. So I want people to rock with me. So I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that, I can build these connections with people and not just a one and done type thing. So that's for me. When you are live, or even before you go live, ask yourself the question, what can I do? And I was telling this to Sosa when I was over his house. I was like, bro, what can I do to make the last stream, this stream, better than the last stream? It's always about stocking and piling on good streams one after another, stacking good streams, right? So I always go back and look at the previous ones, and say like, hey, what can I do that's better than this? What can I do that's different than this? And that's always my goal. It's like I never, even this stream, I was like, okay, Capathon's over, but what can I do to stack on that last day of that Capathon? I feel like it didn't end the way I wanted to. So I was like, you know what? Getting on today ain't gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm amped, I'm motivated. I know I can provide a show. Uh and that was my motivation to get on today. And having a purpose and a motivation goes a long way, as opposed to waking up, turning on the stream, turning on OBS, hit start stream, don't know what you're doing, and you're not really motivated. You're just getting on because you're bored. Like having a motivation or purpose for why I get on, it always gives me excited. You know what I'm saying? I go on with some type of purpose, not just going on blind. Now that doesn't say impromptu don't work. I do impromptu streams all the time, and and they work as well, because I know how to feed off of energy. So it's like, based on where the chat's going, that's where I'm going. I might not have nothing planned, but I know that the chat is going to provide some type of spark. But for me personally, having some level of self motivation with this goes a long way, and for me to like really build upon my purpose and enjoy the stream, because I know I'm getting on here with an intention, not just what I'm saying, just getting on just to get on. So for me, I'm really short with what I wanted to say. But this is more like a motivational type of thing. Is just to inspire people to really get up and go and do it. Like if you got plans and what I'm saying, you want to do this thing, really sit there and blueprint it out. Jot stuff down, jot ideas down. And one thing I learned is there's ideas I've jotted down that didn't uh didn't work in the past, But they came back like years later. I wrote shit down long time ago, and I'm like, wow, this didn't stick in 2022, but wow, it sticks right now. It's crazy how like just writing stuff down goes a long way. I had some ideas even for this capathon. I've been talking about doing this style of thing for back in 2022, and we're just doing it in 2025. So it's like you gotta be patient. The ideas don't always work for you in the moment. Some ideas stick to you years, months, years down the line. You know what I'm saying? So like just write ideas down, come to mind. You know what I'm saying? I get high. My best ideas come when I'm high, and I just jot stuff down in the moment so that I know, even if it's not ready for now, I know it's a purpose for this. Because when I'm high, these ideas just pop up, and like more ideas start sparking when I'm in this elevated mode. So, uh, think about what you want to do long term, even short term, just one stream at a time. Two streams at a time, months down the line. I was telling you, my birthday's coming up in June. I'm already planning on what I want that birthday stream to look like, and it's the last day of April. Still got a whole month to go, and I'm planning it out now because I know if I wait last minute, it's not going to be as good as I want to be. So that's why I'm going to take some time off to plan some things out, get some things right, so that my goal is always to provide the best show I can possibly provide. You know what I'm saying? And so I know planning stuff out gives me the best chance of providing that the greatest show I can. And so that's always my mindset is how can I give you guys a reason to watch the stream. You don't have to watch the stream because you have to. You watch the stream because you want to. And so my goal is to give you a reason to want to watch it because you don't have to watch it. There's no one's controlling anybody here. So my motivation is to how can I give you the best show possible that you can watch for yourself? And so that's always been my goal, to make sure that people come here and they be like, okay, Retro is different. He does things different from a lot of people. I have a reason to come here and watch, and not there's no entitlement to feel like you have to. So that's how I always look at things. And when I'm doing this content is how can I get people to watch what I'm doing? And sometimes you gotta be a little selfish. Sometimes I feel like at one point in time I was being too nice when it came to things. And the minute I start getting a little bit selfish about shit, then I started getting in my bag. Like when I left that job in 2023, I got selfish. I was like, all right, I'm always looking out for everybody, but now shit, I recap gotta look out for recap. You know what I'm saying? And I started like really getting in my bag with stuff I wanted to do, and stop worrying about what people may think of what I got planned and just do the damn thing. And that was what broke me out of that mold of, you know what I'm saying, getting complacent is just like do what you want to do and let that product be what it is. And so I had to be selfish. I had to look at myself in the mirror. I've been saying this for some years now. It's like look at yourself in that mirror. Do you like what you see? If you like what you see, then you know what I'm saying. Or I'm sorry, if you don't like what you see, then what are you going to do to fix it? Like you've identified you don't like this version of you, this person of you. What am I going to do to improve upon this person I see that I don't like? And so, there were times I looked in the mirror and I'm like, damn, I don't like this version of recap. Like I could be better here. And so I had a coming to moment with myself, like, this is where I want to be. This is not currently where I'm at. What's the roadmap to get to where I'm trying to be? And so, I had to blueprint myself, like, I want to achieve this. I want to achieve this kind of margin on the bottom line. What am I going to do to get that? You know what I'm saying? I'm still working on it. I still got a lot of things I got to fix. But, the enjoyment always comes. I'm on camera, on stream, and people are happy to see me. And then, of course, the community building. I've met a lot of people on here just asking questions, building rapport, just being on stream. I've met people. And then I'm always trying to put people onto somebody. Like I meet somebody, check this person out because everybody wins when you do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wins when everybody eating, everybody's passing love. That's why Miss Elite was talking about the affiliate today. I'm like, that's fantastic. You and Elite are both affiliate. Y'all live in the same house. Y'all both affiliate. That's fantastic. You got on stream, you grinded, and you did that thing. That's great. That's a motivation to everybody that it is very possible to grow on here. But Miss Elite's in everybody's chat. So you well deserved for you to be affiliate because you're in everybody's chat. That's what you want. You want to see everybody knowing everybody, right? So I go to a regular flame stream or say, John, oh, I know you from this. Oh, you from this stream. Oh, you from retro stream. Oh, you from wavy stream. Like, oh, everybody know everybody. It's not a, I've seen chats where it's like 200 people. Everybody's talking to the broadcaster, but no one's talking to each other. Like, what's going on? Like, everybody here, for the most part, knows each other, talking to each other. It's like, it's a great thing to see. So that's been my goal is focusing on, community building. That's always really been my goal. And I'm just trying to really like elevate that. And so you need to ask yourself the question, what is your goal? Why do I get on and do what I do on this content stuff? You know what I'm saying? You might have a purpose, you might be purposeless. But if you are, figure out what it is, because it's much easier to do this kind of stuff when you have a purpose, not just getting on just to get on. Like, for example, Miss Elite trying to get affiliate. The purpose of your streams, well, of course, is to have fun, build connections, but was I'm trying to get affiliate. So I have a purpose and a reason to grind for this affiliate. So sometimes you got to create things for yourself to keep you motivated. That's how I am. Not saying everybody's like that, but that's how I am. I have to create things to keep me motivated. You know what I'm saying? Because when you do this for so long, sometimes, like I said, these last couple of days, I have been a little bit off mentally because I had to decompress with some things. I'm like, damn. So like, I didn't intend on getting back today. I was like, shit, this might be another couple weeks, but I got on. I feel good about it. I'm glad I got on. I felt really, really good about getting on today. And so, that was my motivation, is to close this stream in style. The Capathon didn't really end the way I wanted it to. So my motivation for this stream was to get it hype, get it vibey, and close the stream out the way I want it to be closed out, the way it should be closed out. And so I gotta do that with myself every single time. Is like have a reason for something, a motivation for something. Because when I'm walking around clueless or purposeless, then it's like my brain goes into a rut. I say it on Rainbow Six Siege all the time. I need to have a purpose on this game. Like, every character has a role, and sometimes I pick a character and I'm like, I'm roleless. I don't have a role. Like with this particular team that we got, I don't have a role. So then I'm like, I'm not at my best when I don't know what I'm doing. Apply it to this. Like, you have to have a role. You have to understand what you're trying to do. It's much easier to do this when you know what you're trying to do. What's the greater goal? And so it's just something to think about, when you're doing this, is like a purpose for why I do what I do. Not just streaming, it's for anything. Why do I make the decisions I make? You know what I'm saying? And if you have a legit reason, then stand on business and do it. You know what I'm saying? But it'd be those moments when you don't know why you do what you do. And sometimes it could turn out to be gold. I've done stuff. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I was doing, but it ended up being gold. Sometimes it's like, why the hell did I do this? So you do got to take a chance, but it is better to have a purpose and know what you're trying to do. So that's really it that I wanted to mention or speak on that. It's, like I said, it's more of a motivational speech than a technical speech. But I think this kind of stuff plays a role into the overall growth of everybody, because you really got to think about this kind of stuff when you're trying to build. You can't just think about yourself. You got to think about the people that do come to your stream. What do they like to do? What are they into? Why are they here? You know what I'm saying? And those kind of questions get answered, then you have a legit reason to know, and build a rapport with people, because now you know what they like. So these things really go hand in hand with the overall growth. And these are things that I had to go through. Everything I'm talking about here is experience stuff. It's not I read a book on this or whatever. These are all things I've experienced. I don't really watch a lot of big streamers. I just do my own thing, and I just learn from my own experiences. I don't go to Castanet stream and, oh, he has it like this. No, I learn from my own chat. So everything I'm giving you is all raw, and is because I've been through every single thing. How to build. Like, I was playing some old streams yesterday. Some of those streams was 5 years ago, and I was just watching like how I was then and how I was now. And I'm like, wow, like the kind of questions I was asking people, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I met City John on that stream, and I'm asking questions like, how you like it here? You having fun? You like Sonic? I'm asking, and then I know she likes Sonic, so like, and 5 years later, here she go. We're still here. So those questions go a long way in building long-term relationships with people. Juice been here for a very long time, off of the strength I was playing platformers, and I got to know Juice and playing Donkey Kong and all that. So it's like, these are 4 or 5 year connections that I had with people. So when I go in people's chat, people know who I am, because we build a rapport. All these people are in this space for the most part. I built a rapport with on some level, and if I haven't, I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at these other streamers who've made it like that, that's what they do. They have a talent. They push it forward. They build connections, and next thing you know, bam, they big time. So being big time necessarily isn't my goal. The community building is more so my goal. But if the big time come with it, it is what it is. So so that's it for me. As far as like I don't have my link in front of me. Maybe I don't know City Beautiful has it, but I do have individual coaching classes. This is a group session that we do. But if you want to take advantage of our individual coaching class, I do have that. You can sign up for that. And that way we can maybe get more technical with streaming stuff. This is more the psychology of it. But if you need technical like OBS type of stuff, or you know, stream the dashboard stuff and whatever, or Streamlabs, whatever software you use, or scene sources and microphone setup and all that, I'm definitely down to help you with that as well. I don't know. Yeah, City Beautiful just dropped in the chat. So if you would like to book a separate class with me, that link is in the Zoom chat here. But that's all I gotta say. I hope that resonates and helps anybody. As long as it helps one person, that I'm doing my job. So that's pretty much it for me. City Beautiful is all you. I appreciate y'all for listening.
Thank you, Retro. That was amazing.
Thank
Always
you.
gems, and I appreciate you. We all appreciate you. Welcome back, Chic and Nuggets. And thank you everyone for being here. Thank y'all for vibing with us. And thank you for attending class today. I definitely see some new faces, and I'm so grateful and excited for y'all to be here with us. And I also see some returning faces. So always grateful to have all of y'all in the building. And if you don't mind just sharing in the chat, it's not mandatory, but just so I can just get an idea of who's here and what everyone's goals are. If you could just share like if you're a streamer or if you're another kind of creative entrepreneur, if you have any goals when it comes to organization, self-care, holistic wellness that you'd like to know more about, go ahead and share that in the chat as well. Again, it's not mandatory, just helps me to know who's in the room and what's going on today. Thank you, Avy. Appreciate you as well. So today, family, I'm going to talk a little bit about rest. And it's so fitting because Retro talked today about, not the whole time, but he talked a little about his experience with his capathon and how he took some days off, couple days to get his mind right, rest and recharge, and he feels so much better for it. So that is so key that rest is actually, y'all, a big form of productivity. But the thing about the way that society moves, society is so fast and society has so many demands and expectations of us that sometimes rest could feel like a luxury, or sometimes rest could feel like even a waste of time because we could have been doing fill in the blank, right? We all got a to-do list, so go ahead and fill in that blank. Um, but I wanted to talk about rest today because I feel like, you know, as a people, as young people, and I say young because I feel like most of us here are under 50. So some may even be under 40 or 30, but you know, as young people, it's easy to get caught up in that narrative of if all I gotta do is push myself harder and then I'll get it. So whatever that is. But when we honor our rest time, we sometimes achieve whatever goal we were seeking in a faster way or a more miraculous way than what we may have thought was going to happen without actually prioritizing rest. So Why do I talk about this kind of stuff? I am a holistic wellness coach and practitioner. I also teach human design, and I come from a background in the formal education system. Like a lot of us, went to school in a traditional classroom, but I left the classroom because I felt that the ways of teaching in the classroom were not aligned with my personal values and were not aligned with what teachers, not teachers, yeah, well, teachers too, but parents, families, children actually really need in order to sustain learning and to sustain positive and healthy growth. So I left the classroom in order to create holistic educational offerings where we can talk about stuff like this so that we can learn how to slow down when our bodies and our minds are calling for it and prioritize ourselves so that we can be more productive in whatever it is we're doing, whether it's taking classes, going to work, or streaming full-time or part-time. So just checking the chat to see if anyone's responded. Yes, thank you, Miss Elite. Okay. A creative. You're into poetry. I love that. Okay. Lots of different creative things. Painting, trying to learn to use all her creative talents to get into content creating. That's beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing. So, yeah, as Retro mentioned earlier, this space is where we get together. It's not just for streamers, it is also for what I like to call creative entrepreneurs, who are people who are feeling called to use their natural gifts, the talent that they came with, or whatever interests them, in a way to share it with others, but also in a way that when they share it with others, it also brings back income for them so they can live sustainably, right? But also be doing something more aligned with what they love. So let's get into rest, y'all. All right. When I say the word rest, if you feel froggy, leap into the chat and let me know what comes to mind. All the things. It don't gotta just be one word, but when the word rest comes up, what do you think about? I'll hold for a couple of seconds to see if anyone has anything to share before I continue. Retro says healing. Thank y'all for warming up the chat. Okay, healing, sitting. Hold on. Am I here? Let me get all the way here with y'all. Hold on a second. There we go. All right, that's much better. Hey y'all. Okay. Um, Retro saying healing. Sitting says juice. Miss Elite, peace, sleep, restoration. Love that word. To heal again. Hey, y'all. Great to see y'all. So I love that word. I love all the words y'all used. Healing, sitting, restoration, peace. Okay, we're going to get into all that and unpack that a lot more today. There's more. Um, Resting, laying down, getting sun. All of this is great stuff. All right, so let's do it. I'm going to be coming to y'all from the human design perspective. And if you have not yet heard of human design, we can get deeper into that at a different time. I think most of our participants here have at least been introduced to it, but generally it is energy assessment and personality assessment tool that helps us to know how our natural energy has always been set up even before society came through with all these conditioned ideas on how we should or should not be. There's a lot to unpack, but today we're just going to talk about rest from that perspective. So there's a lot of books and literature out there that talk about this many stages of rest and this many levels of rest, and that's all cool. Everybody has their way that resonates with them. So if you are familiar with some of those books and stuff and those theories, feel free to drop them in the chat. But today we're going to talk about the 4 stages of rest as it relates to human design. So rest in 4 stages. And when I first was introduced to this, I was just like, oh, this is interesting. Come to find out, I had been doing all the stages, maybe just not in the way that is most productive to me and how my body might need to process rest in order to be more productive. So let's get into that first stage, which a lot of y'all already put into the chat. So that first stage is recovery, recovery, recovery. That's stage one. And recovery is basically what y'all said, like resting, sleeping, napping. Recovery is just like doing nothing, like not that any of us in here are ever on our bum tip, but it could be just like being on bum mode, sitting on the couch, vegging out, binge watching something, whatever. But the point is that you're shutting off the part of the mind that is tasked with always being productive, and you are just letting everything go. Now, sometimes that voice comes up, don't it? And tell us that you haven't earned rest, or that we need to do more before we can rest. Hustle culture will tell us that we can rest when we're dead. All right. And so we push ourselves past our limit, which doing that, if you do it for a couple years in a row, all right, all that's not going to catch up to you right away. But by the time you get to be middle age, I would say about my age and up, that is going to start to catch up to you and could lead to burnout. So for anyone here who is not yet my age or up, tuck that under your hat, all right? And if we're in the same age range and it's resonating with you, let's start to use this conversation to think about how we can prioritize rest in a more productive way, right? So yeah, when we push ourselves past our limits continuously, it could lead to burnout, because this is going beyond just getting a regular nightly rest. Everybody for the most part goes to bed at some point at night, but this is beyond that. This is about putting the energy, allowing your body to recharge, getting your energy back into your cup. I like to use the analogy of a cup that, can get full or be depleted. So this is about getting your cup back to the fullness that it needs, so that you can always give from not just your full cup, but from the overflow of your cup, and not from the energy that just needs to be retained for you, because you need your energy too. And we all live very full lives. There are people in class right now who have full-time, 9 to 5. I say 9 to 5 because everybody's schedule is not 9 to 5, but y'all know what I mean when I say that. Traditional workforce type jobs. We have parents who are in the building. We have people who are working with their communities or doing important work within their families. So we know how to give our energy. Many of us are very, very, very good at that. What can help support our rest is knowing how to put our own energy back into us, not outsourcing it. All right. I used to be an outsourcer, expecting maybe a partner or a friend to do things for me to make my rest more comfortable, but it always starts with us. So when is the recovery stage over? Um, you'll know that the recovery stage is over when you have had enough of just sitting there. So like I said, I come from a background of working in a classroom. And so like for that first day of like spring break or summer or winter vacation, that first day when we just come home, usually I would probably just go take my behind a happy hour somewhere. But what I could have been doing to be more productive for my body would be to go home and rest and just like let it all go, turn the phone off. And then once I'm bored with that, once I'm ready to like, actually pay attention to a TV show, or when I'm actually ready for some company, that's when you know that your body has had enough and you are ready to move on to the next stage. You know how the body feels when you go on vacation, But then you come back from vacation and you're like, dang, I need to rest another day before I go back to work, after this vacation. That is a result of skipping this foundational rest stage. Okay, so that was recovery. But now your body has told you that you're bored and ready to move on. And so now you move on to restoration. And shout out to Miss Elite. She put restoration in the chat. All right. So now that your energy has been replenished, you filled your cup back up. Okay. You've had lots of time to think, and all these thoughts and ideas and all the stuff that happened, before you got, your break or whatever it is, reason why you're resting, these ideas, these resolutions, all that stuff starts to marinate and settle in to your brain, to your body, to your heart, right? And so now it's time to start to do the things that make you feel like your whole self again. Okay. This is when the list of self-care habits that we can buy or just that we externalize, this is where they come in. This is where your massage and your hair appointments and your mani-pedi, your acupuncture or chiropractor appointments come in. If you go to the doctor, this is maybe when you go and get all those checkups so that you can get all the information that you need. This is also where if you're, go to therapy or do coaching, this is where those types of vibes can come in. Journaling, yoga, dance, like Juice put in the chat, sitting outside and getting some sun. That's definitely a big restoration practice. Taking a bubble bath, you know what I'm saying? Just getting cozy and doing your thing. Getting into your creative bag. And Miss Elite mentioned that earlier. Just the different things that she gets into to promote her creativity. The things that we came here naturally able to do in terms of our creative genius, those are the things that give us life. Those are the things that we could do, whether we were getting paid for it or not. We could do it all day long, and we wouldn't even feel tired. It would still give us so much energy just because it's what we naturally are designed to do. So getting into that creative bag or taking a course to learn more about the things you're interested in, or the things that, if you have a creative craft like writing or painting or drawing, taking a class to perfect your technique, dance classes and stuff like that, going to see a show, engaging in the arts, like going to museums and things, reading, writing, just doing things that enhance your personal development, not professional development. There's other time for that, but your personal development, all right? Because you've already done the recovery stage, now you have the energy to do those other things, okay? So that's the second stage, that's restoration. We're going to move from restoration, all right? Fully restored, all right? Hair done, nails done, everything did, and now I'm ready for recreation. This is usually what we think of when we think vacation from work, all right? Living your best life type vibes, going out, happy hours, dinners, parties, getting dressed up, getting some adventure, all those kinds of things. I used to do this backwards. I used to be the type to go right from the classroom to the airport or to the train station or to the car, however it is we're getting there, and get into all of the things that we have to do on vacation, whether we're on a cruise or whether we're, um, somewhere where there's a bunch of like nightlife or something like that happening, and just getting into the vibe, going into the pool, flicking it up, all y'all know how the vacation vibe goes. But that's why I would come home and be too tired to really go back to work and be effective in that way. Unmotivated, wishing that I had another day to just get myself together because I had skipped those other foundational stages. I didn't start with the recovery. I didn't really prioritize the restoration. The restoration, I probably, did things to prepare for my vacation, by getting my hair or nails done, for example, but it wasn't from that place of having already been well rested. All right. So that's the third stage, family, recreation. Now, the fourth stage of rest from this perspective is celebration. And what are we celebrating? We're not just celebrating major milestones, although it could be major milestones. I'm not saying that. You know, major milestones are important. That's why we call them major milestones. Things like anniversaries, solar returns, or what we call birthdays. Getting a new job or a new car, graduating. Those are all, and you know, someone has a baby, right? We can go on and on about all the different major milestones that could be celebrated. But you know what? This is about celebrating every single solitary victory that you achieve in your life, no matter how seemingly small. We're going to put small in quotation marks because even our large goals require us to achieve smaller goals to get to them, right? So if you have a big goal of, say, starting an LLC, for example, there are likely smaller goals that you had to hit in order to have that larger goal of actually having your LLC structured and established come to fruition. One goal may have been having to research and learn exactly what to do. That's a victory to celebrate once you've done that, because now you have the information and you can't go back to who you were before you had it, right? So now you've changed, you're different. So it's good to celebrate those things. Another example, say you have been working on building a habit to do something new. We all do that, right? I want to exercise more. I want to write more. I want to go to bed at a certain time. I want to see this change in my body, for example, right? So you've been doing it for 3 days, shout out to you. And in 3 days turns into a full week, shout out to you. Celebrate that win, acknowledge your progress. Not only does it give you just a boost of confidence in that moment, but it also starts to build up the neural pathways in the brain that is gonna basically allow you to start, your brain's gonna start looking for that to happen. It's gonna start internally triggering you to say, it's time to do this. It's time to do that, because you have built up a different neural process in your brain that starts to let your brain and body know this is a habit now that I am establishing. So when you do that and start seeking more of that and doing more of that, then it becomes a solidified habit. And then you can start to celebrate those even bigger goals. Again, don't be afraid to chunk those bigger goals into smaller ones, because it gives us something to notice along the way. And it gives us something to encourage ourselves with, and when we chart our progress. So those are the 4 stages of rest, y'all. Again, I'm gonna say them: recovery, restoration, recreation, and celebration. So it's 4 R's and a C. I don't really have a cute little mnemonic device to remember them like that, but there you go. I have an article about this that I wrote on my Patreon a while ago. I'll share the link with y'all if you're interested in grabbing that. You can just join as a free member to get access to that and a host of other resources that are available to you on the Patreon. But just this thing about getting rest, and rest being a form of productivity in and of itself. You know, we are more than beings who were designed to just do all the time. Just as we have energy to be physical, we also have the energy to, and when we're physical, right, it's a lot of output. We're putting out a lot of whatever it is: energy, physical exertion, mental. ideas, right? We're giving. We talked about that earlier, being really good at the giving. But what rest allows us to do is not just get some energy back, but it also allows us to receive. What are we receiving? You're receiving your own personal downloads from whatever energy it is that you resonate with. You are allowing everything that happened, all these things that you've been experiencing before you gave yourself the chance to rest. You're allowing those things to just settle in the system, allowing the system time to recalibrate around the newness of you. You know, sometimes we experience symptoms in the body like aches and pains or headache and things. Now, I am not a doctor, and what I'm about to say is not meant to replace the advice of your licensed practitioner. It's for informational purposes only. But sometimes what we're experiencing could be remedied by taking a moment and saying, well, have I been giving myself enough time to rest? Am I pushing myself too hard? Am I succumbing to the pressure that the to-do list is so long and I need to get everything done on the list right now? Am I trying to prove my worth or my work ethic or my value in this situation by overworking? Listen to your body. When your body tells you that it's tired or that you'll feel it. So I just wanted to share that to encourage us all again today that the need for rest beyond just your regular nightly sleep doesn't mean anything about who you are as a person. It doesn't mean anything about your character. Let's disrupt the laziness narrative. Sometimes people do come across as being quote unquote lazy, but it could be that they're experiencing such a resistance in the body that it makes it difficult for them to do the things that others may be able to do easily in a physical way. Sometimes that resistance could be that person's internal signal telling you, this is not for you, but you keep plugging yourself into this over and over again. It's literally zapping your energy, and that's where burnout comes from. So let's disrupt that narrative, quiet that voice down. Remember that you are worthy of rest just because it's a part of your personal and holistic growth. And when we can accept ourselves and our need for rest in a deeply authentic way, then we can also see others and accept their need for rest in a deeply authentic way. Now, I'm not sure if y'all can hear that. A lot of times when we're in class and the bikes be going, people say that they can't hear it, but my windows are open wide. I think that was loud. So if y'all could hear it, you already know what time it is. It's a beautiful day out here. So that's what I have for you, family. Again, thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me and Retro today in class. I trust that everyone who is here got exactly what they needed, and it's definitely going to land in the right time. Number 3, you got that one, celebration. Miss Elite in the chat, Retro answered that for you. It wasn't loud. Okay, cool. I always think that it's so loud for y'all. I'm just going back and checking the chat. When I be going, y'all please forgive me. I don't always be in the chat in real time, but I'll always go back and check to see what it has to say. Thank you, Noah, for sharing your resource in the chat. There's a book resource that Noah shared. Is this an ad, Noah? A while back, Juice is sharing, a while back, I had two full-time jobs for a year and felt so burnt out the next year. It is so real. Yes. And I can put them all in the chat real quick. We got recovery in case anyone else needs them. Restoration. Recreation. That's number 3. And celebration. That's number 4. So remember, recovery is like I'll put a little note here, do nothing but rest. Restoration is fill up your cup. What makes you you? Recreation is party time. Party time and adventure. And it ain't gotta be crazy party time. You could just like go into a coffee shop. Um, Acknowledge your progress. That's celebration. Okay. And I'm glad y'all didn't hear it too loud. It wasn't too disruptive. If you would like to learn more about my offerings and my work, I'll share a link with you in the chat. Uh, this offer that I share with you in the chat is for a discovery call where we can talk just about your goals, what's going on with you in life, and how I may be able to support you with more holistic practices and embodying them in your lifestyle. So here's a discovery call with me. And also, I'd like to share our link tree. This is where you can find out about all of our classes. You can find other links to reach out to Retro and I. And if the work is valuable to you and you're not yet ready to invest in one-on-one sessions, we are always accepting your loving donations and appreciate every bit of abundance that you share with us. It supports the mission. So here's our link tree. And I'm going to drop Retro's link in the chat one more time. And if anyone has any questions or anything that they'd like to share, feel free to come on off of mute and share. Thank you. Thank you, Retro, and thank you, everybody. Thank you, Retro, also for dropping that in the chat. I see you. I see you over there. Family, also, I talked a little bit about how I left the classroom and why, which was to start sharing holistic educational resources. And one way that I do that is on Insight Timer. It's a meditation app, and I share offerings on there. But I'm also really excited and happy to announce that I am launching a platform on the school app where the conversation that we just had about energy and rest and going even deeper into that. The classes are complimentary. So if this is something that is aligned with where you are in your journey, feel free to join me there as well. There's a link in the chat for you to share your interest. And that is all I have for you today. You're welcome, Wavy. You're welcome, Retro. You are welcome, Miss Elite. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Noah, DV, Chic and Nuggets was coming in and out. We appreciate all of your time. You could be anywhere in the world right now doing anything, but you chose to spend this hour with us, and it does not go unnoticed, y'all, because their time and energy is your most valuable currency. So thank y'all so much for sharing it with us. And our contact info is also in the link tree. And all of you who are registered, look out for your email that will have the replay and all of the links and resources that we shared as well. And that's it. Retro, do you have anything else to add?
Yes, I just want to say I want to thank everybody for showing up. I did have this in the chat as well, just because I want to give you guys who didn't register a chance to get an idea of how we do with these sessions. Like, we do these once a month, right? It's me and City John, and we both even said this time, like, we didn't really have anything scripted here, but you see how great it was. Like, it's because we do this. You know, City John is practicing. I call her a professional in my eyes, and with the experience that I've had over years, we're just telling you what we've experienced, what we've learned. and we appreciate you guys wanting to hear that from us. You know, what we're saying here is to help you guys out. You know, and I always say I didn't have, at least I didn't have it, or nor was I looking for this kind of information back in the day. I'm very appreciative to be in the role now where I can provide that level of information and advice to people, because I wasn't seeking this out 10 years ago. So, y'all know me. My number one goal is to be a benefit to you guys in any way I can. I'm always available to talk. I'm always available to listen. Most of you guys know that. So we are resources. If you are trying to take your health and wealth and your streaming success to the next level, we're here to help you. Like I said, we usually do these on the last Saturday of the month. So we'll have a registration link for the next one. But I wanted to kind of open this up to the overall chat for you guys that in the Twitch to see how these conversations go. So that if you want to sign up for the next time, you so join our Discord, because we put the sign up links in there. So please join that. I dropped all of City John's links. Where's my Discord? I dropped all of City John's links in the chat, so go check out all of that. But we're here to be your help, and we just appreciate your time. It's only for an hour, and we appreciate you investing yourself for that hour, because we want to invest in you just as much as we invest in our own selves. So we appreciate everybody for coming through.
My bad, I was in the chat typing to Noah. Thanks again for sharing that resource. Yes, thank you, everybody. Please go enjoy the rest of your beautiful afternoon or night, wherever you are. And we will see you. I'll see you inside the chat, and I'll see you in these Twitch streets. Much love to y'all.
Thank you. Have a
Peace.
good one.